I want to get to the most exciting part of the session, where I'll be talking to Eric about the CONAIR MobileIron success story. Eric, welcome. Thank you for being part of the Q&A session. It is fair to assume that all of us have heard of CONAIR, obviously, and each of us, I assume, has a household item from CONAIR. And you have been with them for 27 plus years. Now, that's a very long time. Why don't you tell us about your role and what specific business and technical challenges you have around IT, mobility, and security?
Thanks, Sam. That's right. I started with CONAIR a long time ago, and I've been taking a leading role in many IT initiatives over the years, including such things as infrastructure, Windows, Macintosh, data center management, security, telephony, and mobility. Our current infrastructure consists of approximately 150 different servers, approximately 3,000 desktops, both Mac and Windows 10. We use SAP, Office 365, the Adobe Suite, and plenty of custom applications. We have approximately 1,000 mobile devices split between iOS and Android, both BYO and corporate-owned devices. Some of the challenges I faced around device management included security, mainly the ability to know who has our data, can we remove it when necessary, and the use of secure passwords to access the data, as well as secure access to corporate resources.
Thank you, Eric. In terms of the mobile devices, are they distributed globally? Are they focused on the U.S.? Can you share a little more information about that?
Sure. We're approximately 50% U.S. and 50% globally. And in that mix, the U.S. market is mostly BYO, where the overseas market is both predominantly corporate-owned.
Got it. Thank you for articulating the overall IT challenges in CONAIR. Now, you have been using MobileIron Core as your on-premise, which is the on-premise UEM solution for managing and securing your data and apps on iOS and Android, as you indicated to us, for several years. I presume you're happy with it. So why rock the boat, and why look for a cloud-based solution?
So yes, we have been very happy with MobileIron Core. We've been using it for at least 5 years now. We found it to be an extremely stable product that has secured and managed our mobile and desktop devices. Service and support has been fantastic, but the entire industry is moving to the cloud, and we were looking to do the same thing for several reasons. We were looking for qualified IT staff. We have qualified IT staff. They're expensive. Sometimes they're hard to find. The cost of them maintaining the hardware, patching, upgrades, electricity, HVAC, internet services was getting out of hand. We are expanding globally, and the number of mobile devices used by our employees is increasing daily. So we needed something that could scale reliably and availably. Day zero support for any new iOS release was a must. And as we all know, upgrades take time and resources.
So is iOS 14 something that you have already upgraded to, or you're looking to upgrade to iOS 14? Because that's very interesting, because they just released, Apple just released support for it earlier this month. Is that something you're planning to move towards quickly, or have you already started the process? Just curious.
So as I'm sure everybody on this call has had the experience where even if we ask our users not to upgrade to the latest iOS on day one, they do it anyway. So yes, we had advised most of our users not to upgrade until we knew if we could support it. But on the day of release, by that evening, we had about a 15% adoption rate already to iOS 14, and there's 0 calls to our help desk on issues with MobileIron and iOS 14.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's really nice to hear. So you really explained the reasons for migrating to the cloud perfectly. And really, I want to thank you for that, for articulating that really well. Now, specifically, what were you looking for in a cloud-based UEM solution?
Well, we were looking for a lot of things. We were looking for, where do I begin? We were looking for support of our custom applications. We were looking for support of SAP, support of Office 365. We were looking for highly responsive service and highly qualified and responsive technical support. We were definitely looking for a seamless and low cost to migrate to the cloud. Integration with ADFS was an absolute must. And security focus. Security, connectivity to access to resources using our two-factor solution, although we are exploring other options down the road.
Got it. So did your integration with ADFS go well with MobileIron? Were there any issues?
Sam, we could talk about that for an entire other seminar. No, it did not go well at all. I was working with a fantastic professional services person from MobileIron, extremely dedicated to her profession and helping us, but we ran into problems day one with the ADFS integration. And we must have spent countless hours on the phone trying to diagnose it. She brought in upper-level people from the organization. She had engineers on the call with us. And in the end, what we found out was that we were using a newer version of ADFS that had just been released days before. And MobileIron was not yet supporting that. However, MobileIron didn't say to us, well, you're out of luck. Instead, they said, give us some time. We'll come up with a solution. And sure enough, they did.
Wow, that's fantastic to hear. Now, in terms of the custom apps, who is using custom apps? Is it your internal team or sales? Who is using custom apps within the organization?
So we have both. We have custom applications that are on the business-to-business side. We're using those mostly in Europe for our sales force that are in the field to take orders, and that links directly back up to our internal SAP solution.
Got it.
We've also issued plenty of other applications, both internal only for our users, as well as consumer-based applications. And all that testing is done within MobileIron to push it out to our own employees to make sure those applications are functioning properly.
Got it. Okay. So that's really, you have a really comprehensive set of requirements. And did you evaluate other vendors such as VMware, Microsoft Intune, and so on? And I'm surprised because you indicated that you have Office 365 in your environment already. And I know that giving away Microsoft Intune with AAD and Office 365. So just curious, you didn't evaluate other vendors, or did you?
We did. We actually evaluated we talked to Microsoft, or we attempted to talk to Microsoft. They approached us with Intune. We did not do a proof of concept for a number of reasons. One is they told us that Intune was required in order to manage Office 365, which we all knew was not true. They told us they could not manage our custom applications, which was a big no for us. And then I wanted to speak to the technical support team to get some ideas on, what it would take to get certain pieces of this done and how they would respond to us. I shouldn't have to wait days for a response from technical support, but yet we found ourselves waiting days, and in one case more than a week, to get a response. So, yes, we did look at Microsoft 365 for a short period of time. We did not do a proof of concept. MobileIron being a much smaller company, we found their service and technical support to be extremely responsive. And to us, that's the key, is when we're in a pinch and we're having a problem, and we all have them eventually, how can we get help, and how can we get help fast? So with that, we decided not to consider the Microsoft solution and decided to stay with MobileIron and move to the cloud.
Mm-hmm. Did you evaluate any other vendors, such as VMware or IBM?
No, we did not.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's really great to hear that you picked MobileIron Cloud over Microsoft Endpoint Manager as your UEM vendor of choice. Now, how did the overall core-to-cloud migration go? Were you able to use our LUI, or low user impact tool? And did you migrate all your devices over, including iOS and Android? Or where are you in terms of the migration? Have you completed it? You're happy with it? How did things go?
So we started migrating earlier this year using your low user impact tool. Now, to be fair, the migration did start later than we liked. That was due to the ADFS issue that we spoke about earlier.
Yes.
But once we did start using the tool, it went off seamlessly. We are now done with our migration to the cloud. We love the LUI tool. What it did for us was the user was not impacted. There was no re-registration of devices required. Policies and configurations were migrated over from one to the other seamlessly. This was a huge savings for us in terms of money and time. The professional services team, as I mentioned earlier, was very responsive. They helped in the migration of the back-end servers. They helped us design user notices and what we can tell them to expect. Overall, we were very pleased. We did complete it, as I said. We did only migrate our iOS devices at the time. Our Android device user base is much smaller. And based on the fact that Android devices in our estimation and our use case history is not great, every device is slightly different, we decided our best approach for Androids was to de-enroll them from on-prem and re-enroll them in core. But besides that, we're fully migrated over to the cloud, and that's why I'm talking to you today.
Okay. Thank you, Eric. And we at MobileIron are always proud about going the extra mile to keep our customers like yourself happy with our product support and professional services. And thank you again. So can you talk? I know did you use some of our resellers and partners? How was your relationship? How did they help in the whole process? Could you talk a little bit about the partners involved and in as much detail as you would like to?
Sure, Sam. Unfortunately, I can't give many specifics about our partner policies and how we work with them. Some of that is considered corporate confidential. However, I can say that we do use many different partners for different products across different platforms. In this particular case, I can say that we did work with CDW. We have a fantastic partnership with them. We have a fantastic account exec that we've been with for well over 25 years. And they were able to work with not only the MobileIron team, but their in-house team to really come to us with the best possible package offering in a multi-year agreement, which was one of the things we had asked them to do.
Got it. Okay. So you are pretty happy with the way things went, and you are able to do the migration on time within budget and things like that, yeah? You leveraging our resellers and our own PS services as well, yeah?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, got it. So now before we open it up for the audience for questions, I wanted to find out if there was any tangible benefits or metrics specifically that you would like to share on if this MobileIron cloud that you migrated to recently, has it resulted in any particular benefit for you?
Yeah, we have a bunch of benefits here. So one of the things, we've been able to reallocate some of our highly trained and highly priced IT staff for more critical tasks, which was great. We've been able to manage and secure our custom apps that we talked about earlier, both the B2B and consumer-based applications. We did reduce our overall IT costs for both hardware, maintenance, upgrades, and the lesser-known things that people look at are HVAC, electricity, internet, routing, all that behind-the-scenes costs that aren't really prevalent up front. One of the things we avoided was vendor switching and migration costs by using the LUI, as well as not having to switch to a different platform. And one of the more important things that all this did for us was we limited the interruption to our associates. That's something that we value here very highly, is keeping our associates able to be as productive as they can with less interruptions from IT. And by doing the LUI migration, that was a success all around. Last but not least, we were able to improve our overall security posture of our mobile devices. We're leveraging two-factor authentication. We are looking into using biometrics and other passwordless sign-on options in the near future.
Got it. Are you using MTD at all or MobileIron threat defense at all for your Android and iOS devices? I'm just curious to know, is that something that you are also looking into, or do you have a solution already?
It is something we're looking into. We don't currently have a solution for that.
Got it. Eric, thank you so much for taking the time to do this Q&A session with me, and I appreciate you sharing the CONAIR success story with us and with the broader audience.